African leaders in Rome. A question of priorities. At the inauguration of Pope Leo XIV in Rome, several African heads of government and senior officials gathered in celebration. While this might appear as a gesture of goodwill and global solidarity, it raises critical questions about the priorities of African leadership in a continent still grappling with widespread poverty, underdevelopment, and the lingering effects of imperialism. These leaders represent some of the most economically marginalized nations in the world, nations whose populations continue to cry out for emancipation from a global system that has long exploited their resources and people. Yet their presence at this religious event does little to change the material realities facing their citizens. Instead of directing their attention and resources to urgent domestic needs, such as basic healthcare, education, and infrastructure, many African leaders continue to align themselves with Western interests and institutions. This pattern reflects a deeper issue: the continued reliance on foreign validation rather than legitimacy derived from transparent democratic processes at home. In countries like Nigeria, both President Bola Tinubu and a key opposition leader, Peter Obi, were in Rome, smiling and mingling with global elites. Yet back home, millions face daily insecurity, unemployment, and poverty. Some of these African leaders, who eagerly appear at high-profile events abroad like the inauguration in Rome, often fail to show the same level of engagement at home. Many rarely step into public spaces to defend their candidacy manifestos during elections or to address pressing national crises in a transparent manner while in office. Yet, when it comes to foreign ceremonies or diplomatic functions, they are quick to board private jets, accompanied by oversized entourages, seemingly more committed to international appearances than to domestic accountability. Their presence at such a lavish event offers no tangible solution to worsening crises at home country. It symbolizes a leadership class that is more interested in external appearances than internal reform. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa also attended, accompanied by his entourage. While the Vatican gathering provided a rare opportunity for African leaders to interact, such camaraderie rarely translates into collective action for Africa's progress. Similarly, Mozambican President Daniel Chapo, whose country remains ravaged by years of conflict, participated in the celebration, perhaps in hopes of securing more aid, arms, or attention from the West. The decision of these leaders to prioritize attending the papal inauguration over directly addressing the urgent concerns of African youth, especially their calls for sovereignty and true independence, raises doubts about his genuinely transformative vision. This critique is not to suggest that African leaders should withdraw from international diplomacy or religious events. However, diplomacy must be guided by clear priorities and grounded in the realities of their people's suffering. Extravagant foreign trips, often involving large entourages and luxurious travel, must be weighed against what those same resources could accomplish at home, whether in building schools, funding hospitals, or creating jobs. Perhaps events like papal inaugurations should be left to religious representatives and diplomats, allowing governments to focus on the more pressing task of rebuilding and transforming their nation. The continued allegiance to Western approval, whether symbolic or strategic, only weakens the continent's long-fought struggle for self-determination and authentic Pan-Africanism. Until African leaders center their policies and presence around the needs of their people rather than the allure of Western recognition, the dream of emancipation will remain elusive. Diaspoint values your perspective and encourages you to share your thoughts on the topics we present. Feel free to comment and share with your network to spark broader discussions.